Ni hao, Stephanie. I am something. I don't even know what to say. Yes, I do. Clearly, I have absolutely failed 5 Minute June. I was doing good for a while there because every time I had a thought that was over 5 minutes, I just made another video. And so what I ended up doing is having like 4 videos a day, and then I had this giant backlog of videos. And that didn't go well because then I had to remember what they were about because I don't label them as I make them. I rewatch them, and that gets time consuming even when they are 5 minutes. Anyway, I do know what I'm gonna say. I'm having, I feel like there should be a name for this. I'm having, holy crap, it's been so long that I have so many imperfections in my learning syndrome. Is there a shorter term for this? The reason why this is so apparent right now is that I've got I'm looking at my flashcards, by the way. I've got like 3 different kinds of flashcards, right? I have the original bigger ones, which I love to death, but they stopped selling, and it was just, I seriously appreciate the feedback that I could have somebody make these. I am in China, the world's factory for now, although that is slowly changing. But that's just way more effort than I'm willing to put into note cards. So before I switched over to the new note cards, because I had a stack, I tried to color code for tones, and that just didn't work very well. My brain said no. And then I found these, which are a similar density, but they're smaller, if you can see here. These are the original ones, these are the new ones. And I now have 4 stacks of the new ones, and I think I'm going to probably order like another 10 of them. They're super duper cheap. I think it's like $2 or $3 for a giant pack of 150 or something. Just so I don't run out by the end of HSK 3. I think by the end of HSK 3 I may come up with a different system, or I may not. I don't know. But I definitely want all my cards to be the same size. So I'm slowly switching over from the old ones to the new ones while still making, and here's the bitch, while still making the new cards for the current chapter. Because what I used to do in school, and this used to really, really mess me up, I have flashbacks of all kinds of bad learning habits I had in school. When I got behind in a subject, I got behind in a class, I would spend time trying to catch up instead of doing what was currently due. And that would often lead me to turning in things late, not preparing for exams that were about to happen. Like, I'd get so caught up in what I thought I missed, which sometimes wasn't even a lot, to be honest with you. You know how there's those lulls in classes? Sometimes I was really, really lucky and just missed classes during lulls, or I just kind of zoned out and stopped going for a little while when there wasn't a whole lot happening, or during a period where it was something that I was pretty good at, so I didn't need to be there necessarily. But I didn't know this because when I was at university, I came from a high school where I was the non-smart one. So I just thought, clearly, if I had missed something, that I had really missed something and I could never catch up. And so I tried to scramble, but in trying to scramble, I would ignore the present. I don't want to do that again. And it's so weird to be talking about my early 20s as I sit here in my late 40s, but these are the flashes that are coming into my head. This is the last time that I've had this feeling. I didn't have this feeling in grad school because by then I had already learned that that was bullshit, and I just kept going forward. And grad school is generally easier than bachelor's degree. It's just weird how that works in the US. Anyway, so that wasn't an issue. So it did bring me back to my early bachelor's degree. Actually, that's when I was still doing my associate's degree, because I wasn't even sure how far I was going to go in academia because I had nobody around me that was going, or that had gone. I'm sorry. Everybody around me in my high school was going. They were super ambitious East Coasters. But as far as my family goes, I don't believe there was anybody that had gone yet. Right, so I actually filled out the paperwork and got my associate's degree. So I technically have an associate's, a bachelor's of science, a master's of art, and oops, had that finger get there. And I did not complete my PhD. My point is, I started to revert back to thinking I should just spend months going back over HSK2 and HSK1, fixing all of my flashcards and perfecting things instead of moving forward. So what I'm trying to do on a daily basis, and this is a bit of a struggle because I did not realize how strong this was still in me, is I'm trying to move forward. I did more listening today with HSK3. I spent an hour with listening and vocabulary, making new flashcards, and then I spent about half an hour on a new reading exercise. And I did a new reading exercise. I have one more to go, and it's the most intimidating long one. But I'll push through. I'll probably have to do it first before the listening, just so I have the cognitive ability. If I wait until after the listening, I'll probably be burnt out and not be able to handle it. It is literally one entire A4 page of 5 questions, just the dialogue's gotten longer, and it's all in Chinese. There's no pinyin on there at all. Only Hanzi. Only Hanzi. So I'll probably do that tomorrow or Thursday. Tomorrow I'm working, so I'm probably not going to do a lot. I'll probably just review the listening and the note cards tomorrow. But there is a pull for me to want to perfect it before going forward. There is a pull towards, you missed it, you idiot, you clearly don't know what you're doing, you are insufficient, how many more things can I put here? I mean, it's not an abusive relationship in my head right now, but it definitely is a feeling of inadequacy. It's not mean, it's not controlling, it's not evil, it's just, I don't have it. I need to backtrack and go find it. And to be honest with you, when I was looking through, because I made lists of the grammar points that I missed to try to calm this side of myself tonight, so I went through all of HSK2. And you know that beginning part of the course book and most course books where they tell you what's in each chapter? Yeah, I threw that out ages ago. So I made my own just for the grammar points, just to get an idea of what I've missed. And as I was making the list, I actually looked at some of the descriptions. And for the ones that I could understand, they weren't that hard. There were some that I really need to think about, but there were some of them that I had already kind of guessed, and there were some that just seemed like the definition, just worded in a way that didn't make sense. So I'm not as far behind as I thought. I never am. It's just this feeling of insecurity for some reason. This feeling that it needs to be right. This feeling that I have to go back and get everything perfect before moving forward. And I think the thing I learned the most in, oh, my phone's dying. Hold on. Why does this happen every time I'm recording? Because I forget to plug in unless my screen dies. Welcome to my hand. Alright, that didn't work. Did that work? That's really strange. Yeah, it probably would have been really good to pause during this. I hate it when YouTubers do this when I'm watching their shit. And yet here I am. Alright, so... Hypocrite! Does this ever happen to you? Do you ever feel like instead of moving forward, you have to stop and perfect some form of your